Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, our today's topic is abiotic components of an ecosystem. Previously we studied the structure of an ecosystem, and in that we studied the biotic components of an ecosystem. So today we will study its another part, that is abiotic components of an ecosystem. Let's move to our topic. So dear students, as you know, we are studying ecosystem structure, and in the previous lesson we studied biotic components of an ecosystem. Okay, now in today's lesson, inshallah, we will be studying the abiotic components of an ecosystem. Here you can see I have placed a diagram here which gives you a general view of an ecosystem. As ecosystem comprises of biotic and abiotic components, you can see here different kinds of plants, different kinds of animals. You can see terrestrial animals, aquatic animals. You can see plant communities, okay, different habitats. You can also see solar radiation here. You can see moisture, okay, and minerals and so on. So this shows you these abiotic and biotic components are interacting with each other. So in every ecosystem, these interact with each other. Okay, these biotic components also interact with each other and also with the abiotic components of an ecosystem. So dear students, as you have studied in your previous classes, lesson is that environment comprises of two components. One is abiotic and the other one is biotic. The abiotic component of our environment includes atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere. The abiotic components are characterized by physical and chemical factors such as light, temperature, rainfall, pressure, pH, the content of oxygen and other gases, and so on. These factors exhibit diurnal, nocturnal, seasonal and annual changes. So dear students, let's know about these abiotic components. Biologists have classified these abiotic components into three types. First one is climatic conditions and physical factors. The second one is inorganic substances, and the third one is organic substances. Now let us see what all these three types of abiotic components comprise. Now in climatic and physical factors we have number one, it's temperature. Temperature affects living organisms in many ways, like cell morphology, behavior, physiology, growth, distribution, and so on. Temperature is one of the essential and changeable environmental factor. It penetrates into every region of the biosphere and profoundly influences all forms of life by exerting its action through increasing or decreasing some of the vital activities of organisms such as behavior, metabolism, reproduction, ontogenic development, that is embryogenesis, blastogenesis, and death. Temperature is a universal temperature has a universal influence and is frequently a limiting factor for the growth or distribution of animals and plants. Okay, normal life activities go on smoothly at specific temperatures or at specific range of temperatures. This is called as optimum temperature or the optimum range of temperatures. Okay. Organisms react to any rise or fall of the optimum temperature range, and biotic communities more often encounter alterations only due to extremes of temperature with minimum or maximum temperatures. The interaction of temperature with certain other abiotic environmental factors such as humidity, etc. cause into many other climatic changes which influence the living organisms in one way or another. Now the second one is water. Dear students, you may have studied in previous classes already that life originated in water. So it is the vital component of all living organisms. It makes a large portion of the body of organisms. Water affects the distribution, chemical and physiological processes, migration, etc. of organisms. As for example, some plants thrive in water at the place where water is available. Rather, they are called as mesophytes. Some plants thrive in water. They are called hydrophytes. Some are thriving in desert areas. They are called as xerophytes. So the availability of water affects the distribution of living organisms, plants and animals. So the third one is light. Sunlight is vital for the existence of life on Earth. It is responsible for a number of physiological processes in plants and animals like photosynthesis, behavior, distribution, and so on. The radiant energy from the sun is the basic requirement for the existence of life on the Earth. This source of energy is of fundamental importance to the photosynthetic production of food by plants, and as you know, although we generally think only in terms of visible light, the sun emits other radiations of different wavelengths. For example, cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, red, infrared rays, heat waves, spark discharges, radar waves, radio waves, electromagnetic waves, and so on. But biologists have been primarily interested in only three regions near the center of the electromagnetic spectrum, that is infrared, visible, and ultraviolet rays. Okay, so this light, sunlight, has a great impact on the distribution and activities of plants and animals. The fourth one is humidity. The fourth one is humidity. So first of all, you may have studied in your previous classes what humidity is. Basically, humidity is, dear students, it is atmospheric moisture in the form of invisible vapor. Okay, this is called as humidity. It is expressed as relative humidity. It affects the rate of evaporation and ability to withstand drought by an organism. Okay, then the fifth one is atmosphere, which contains gases in which wind is generated. So you know that atmosphere is very essential. The atmosphere is very essential for the existence of living beings on the planet. Atmosphere is a medium for the cycling of many nutrients like carbon, oxygen, etc. So it also provides us oxygen. It provides carbon dioxide to plants, etc. And water cycle operates in atmosphere Atmosphere is responsible for the dispersal of seeds, spores. It determines the capability of plants that can thrive in places affected by fires, winds. Okay, then we have soil. Number 6 is soil. Soil is home for plants, animals, that includes insects and microbes and so on. The pH of soil, its texture, fertility determine the type of vegetation, and animal communities also depend on it. The 7th one is pH. Okay, pH. It influences on the distribution of plants. Some plants thrive in acidic, some in neutral, and some in alkaline soils. Most plants are highly sensitive to pH changes. Then we have topography. So different landforms like plain, mountain, valley, etc. have different types of organisms due to the difference in light, humidity, rain, wind. Okay. And one can see different vegetations at different altitudes. For example, tropical rainforests, deserts, similarly grasslands, deciduous forests, coniferous forests, tundra, snow, etc. And it has been said that mean temperature of air decreases 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which corresponds to minus 12.2 degrees Celsius, for every degree of latitude north of equator and every 300 minutes of altitude. Okay. So the 10th one is rainfall. 10th one is rainfall. The amount and periodicity of rainfall determine the terrestrial ecosystem. So after that we have inorganic substances. Part B. It comprises of water, carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, and so on, all of which are involved in cycling of materials in the ecosystem. Then the third one is organic substances. It comprises of proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, humic substances, etc., present either in the biomass or in the environment. That is biochemical structure that link the biotic and abiotic components of the ecosystem. So this is for today. See you next. Fi amanillah.